Listen, I hate to interrupt your Monday morning routine or evening or wherever you live at in the world. Right now it is Monday night where I am on the East Coast. Now listen, I want to talk to y'all real quick. There's a few things that queens just don't do. One of those things is beg. Queens do not beg. And I'm ashamed to say that I was reading some of my inboxes today, and it was a lot of begging energy going on. And I want to ask you guys before we move forward: when the last time you seen a queen on her knees begging for a man to act right, begging for a man to give them attention, begging for a man to wife them up? And here's the problem, man. Here's the thing that I want everyone to understand: if you feel like you have to beg a man to do the things that should be expectations, like minimum expectations in a relationship, that's not a man for you. I want to go on record by saying this. There are certain men in this world you won't have to beg to do anything. Matter of fact, sometimes you might not even have to ask him to do anything, because certain things is just common sense within a relationship. You shouldn't have to ask a man not to cheat on you. This should be an expectation that is laid early on in the relationship, and you shouldn't have to repeat that expectation. There are certain things that a grown individual knows before getting in a relationship that you will have to do. If you don't want to give someone time, you shouldn't be in a relationship. That is not something you should beg. Now, dictionary definition of beg is asking repeatedly. I don't know if that's what Webster's definition actually is, but if you have to ask someone repeatedly to keep doing the same thing, Queen, you begging. You begging. You think just because you ain't on your hands and feet talking about please act right, that you ain't begging. You begging with your spirit. You begging with your spirit. Every time you keep asking the same person to give you something that you know for a fact they have no plans in delivering, you are begging with your spirit. Some of y'all worried about being thirsty. No, Ace, I don't want to look thirsty out here. Some of y'all look like beggars, and it's amazing because it's October, beggars night coming around, and this is what you guys do. You got this begging energy, this please give me attention. If you have to fix your mouth to say please give me more attention to a person you are dating over and over and over again, if you have to fix your mouth to nag someone into treating you right, you are acting out of character. You are acting out of character. And the interesting thing is, I'd had an Instagram post and it was a lot of women. I ain't never begged a man to do nothing in my life. You a lie. You were lying to me. Quit lying to me. You know you done did some begging. You know you done did some keep sweating. Please spend some more time with me. Please, will we go get married? Please come pick up your kid. You done did some begging. All right. And so I want to make this obvious to you guys. Sometimes we have this unhealthy attachment, this unhealthy attachment to individuals. In these unhealthy attachments to individuals, we lose ourselves in the process. I want to make this statement. There is no man on earth worth you losing yourself. And sometimes we just voluntarily do that. Sometimes we voluntarily decide that we're going to toss our dignity to the side because we want that person. You know what I'm saying? Whole bunch of people in the world. Whole bunch of people. I want y'all to ask yourself something. A whole bunch of men, whole bunch of women in the world, but you want that one so bad that you're willing to lose your dignity over him or her. I mean, think about it. Think about it. You know for a fact that someone out there will treat you correctly, but no, you want to stick with this guy. And I'm not saying that relationships doesn't have their ups and downs. But there's a certain level of decency that should be given there. Let me understand you something. If you are in a relationship with a person and you find yourself constantly repeating yourself, it's not because that person doesn't understand English. They understand the words that are coming out your mouth. They understand what the fuck you saying. They understand. You say, quit neglecting me, show me attention. And these are third grade words. A third grader would know these words. It's not that that person doesn't understand the words are coming out of your mouth, but the fact of the matter is you said that last month, and the month before, and the month before. At some point, a person figures out that this is no longer a demand. This is not even a request. This is desperation. And I've always said this, and I want everybody to understand this part. A person that doesn't think that you can move on and walk away, and that you ain't got the power to leave them, that is a dangerous situation to be in. It's a dangerous situation. When a person knows that they got 3, 4, 5 chances at getting a single thing right with you, it's a dangerous thing. Don't shit move when you say nothing. Like when you say, hey, listen, there needs to be some changes. They got 4 or 5 more chances or times of you saying that before things get serious. You know what I'm saying? They like, you ain't even got to crying mode yet. I'm good. You just playing. Here's the thing. I want everybody that's watching right now, before we get to the question portion, I want everybody to understand that I'm not a person that doesn't believe relationships don't have their ups and downs, because I believe they do. I'm not a person that thinks that relationships will be perfect, because they're not. I am not a person that thinks that everyone is going to get it right every single time. However, I don't like repeating myself. You know, it's not that I don't like you or love you, but personally, I don't like repeating myself. And ladies, I want you to ask yourself this fundamental question. Do you happen to find yourself repeating things? I mean, pretty basic things that should be ordinary understandings between two mature adults in a relationship. Do you find yourself repeating things often? Like you just had that conversation. And if you are that person, you are begging someone to love you correctly. You are begging. It ain't a request. It's no longer an ask. An ask is one time. You know what I'm saying? Not only is it that you are now in the ultimatum process. And the funny part about this is we start giving ultimatums, but they're empty. You know what I'm saying? They're empty ultimatums. You keep telling people, if you don't act right, I'm gonna leave. You ain't going nowhere. Okay. Nowhere is where you're going. Okay. Let me tell you how a person know you ain't going nowhere when you be talking to little ultimatums. I can see it in your motherfucking eyes. Right now, I want you to look at the camera right now and say, if you don't act right, I'm gonna leave. Say it right now. I can picture you saying that to the camera, and I don't believe it. You know why? Because you've been doing all this begging up until this point, and you ain't went nowhere. And the sad thing about human beings, and I wish it wasn't like this, the more comfortable a person gets, the longer leash they think they have. And sometimes people treat you like they get a 4th, 5th, and 6th chance. They treat you like you are allowing them to treat you. So, to end this soliloquy before we get to the question and answers, And if people want to come on live and ask me a question, I'm gonna take these questions. I gotta put the link. Okay, I'm gonna put this link down so you guys, if you guys want to come on camera and ask me a question. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get Instagram on here too. I done neglected them today. Hold on 2 seconds, y'all. I think we gonna get this going. My bad. I should have been more prepared. And for those that are Member Monday, don't worry. I'm gonna do a solo thing right after we leave here. Okay, right after I get off of here. But let me get Instagram on here. So we're gonna get some questions. Cool. All right. Let's see. Drop a question below now. Cool. So, all right, we almost ready. All right. So, ladies, check this out. Check this out, ladies. I want you guys to drop a question below. All right, I'm gonna answer y'all question. We talking live, okay? We talking live. I know I ain't been on YouTube in so long. We talking live. So I want you guys to drop a question below. If you want to come on and ask me a question, invite. Let's see if there's a way for me to link. I can probably link this on my YouTube video. Hold on 2 seconds. Let's see. Comment. Where to comment? Okay. Shoot. 2 seconds. Switch accounts. Let's go to my Ace Metaphor account. Give me 2 seconds, you guys. What's up, Instagram? Listen, we on live, man. We about to get some questions. We on live. So what I'm about to do is, if you got a question you want to ask your boy, I just posted the StreamYard link on the live messages inside YouTube. So if you guys want to ask me a question live, it is pinned on YouTube. All right. Sound good? Let me see if there's a way for me to pin it as a comment instead of the chat. I don't know. All right. Do you guys see the link? All right. Hopefully you guys do. Oh, I see somebody. All right. Obviously some people. Alex, Chelsea, what's up? What's up? What's up? Chelsea, you know you the first. You know I can't. You can't be the first question. Alex, you got a question for me? Why you click the link if you ain't got a question? Why people do this to me? Alex, you got a question or no? You do. Alex, what's up? Talk to me.
Hi. I don't know why I clicked, but I do have a question.
All right, what's up?
So I have been seeing a guy long distance it's been long distance now for 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And we're exclusive. We agreed to that. But he has yet to have me go see him. We live cross country. So,
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if I'm wasting my time. You know,
okay.
I know he's trying to get settled, but
okay, check this out. All right, I'm gonna mute you for a second. So before I mute you for real. So you trying to get flown out, basically?
No, I would fly myself out.
Oh, you just want to go see him?
I just want to go see him.
And you've never met him before?
Oh no, we actually dated for a few months because he lived in California before he moved.
Okay. How long he's been out there?
5 months.
Okay. And you ain't seen him in 5 months?
I've seen him once.
When he came back to kick it with you?
Yeah.
Okay. And you enjoy the relationship being like that?
I mean, I guess it's okay for now. I'm stuck in California for another year and a half till I feel it.
Okay. It is. There's no more. There's no more men out there.
No.
Okay. Why somebody got a burner account of mine? That's funny. Hold on, let me block this person. So you said there's no more men in where you live at?
Well, not for me. Like I actually want to give this a chance, you know. Because I wasn't planning on. Oh, go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna mute you real quick. All right, listen. So to answer your question, shit, it's just it is what it is. I mean, you're not going to see him often. He's not coming to see you often. And if you're okay with that relationship, then you're okay with that relationship. I mean, I my suggestion is to keep your dating options open. I think that sometimes what we do is we date one person at a time. We have a nice couple weeks and we decide to only talk to this person. And then circumstances change, like someone moves halfway across the country or across the country, and now you're not seeing that person and you're acting as if you guys are in a committed relationship. Being exclusive to each other, I mean, I understand that, but maybe you jumped the gun on that. Maybe you guys should have seen how the relationship was going to work after you guys after the move happened and let a substantial amount of time to see if this is kind of what you want. But if you get exclusive too early in this process, then sometimes you feel like you got to hold somebody down and stick beside him when you're not really being fulfilled. If you are a person, your love language is personal touch, girl, you want to be personally touched. You know what I'm saying? If your love language is quality time, you want to spend some quality time. So if this relationship isn't fulfilling you, it ain't fulfilling you. I don't really think that there is much else to discuss here. However, I understand people have a hard time making hard decisions, you know. And to be honest, this is a hard decision that you will have to make. Okay. And if you're not willing to make those hard decisions, sometimes what you end up doing is wasting a lot of your time, you know. And the reason I call it a tough decision is it might be nothing wrong with this man besides the fact that he lives halfway across the country. All right, Alex, what do you think?
Um, well, I mean, I'm willing to give it time because I wasn't going to date anyway while I was finishing this degree. And we actually were dating before I started school back. And so I'm willing to give him some time.
Oh
And
yeah.
and then I told myself after I'm done with school and I move out of California, if I'm not moving to Virginia, I'm done. So I at least I put that there.
Yeah, that sounds like a really passive plan. It sounds like not too much of a plan at all. But if that makes you feel better, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't sound much like a plan at all, but I am all for whatever you got going. Okay. I'm all for it. All right.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, woo. Um, ladies, we gotta um we gotta make solid plans, ladies. All right. I'm gonna pin this again. Anybody else want to oh, I guess I just did it. Anybody else want to come on live? Make sure you hit that link. We about to get it going. All right. Let me take a Instagram question real quick. Somebody said, "Why does my narcissistic ex-husband try to be nice?" I don't. Maybe he just nice now. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Why don't you ask him this question? Why don't you go to my YouTube right now? I'm live streaming and hit the link. Hit the link in my YouTube in order to ask him that question live because I love to have a little bit more backstory. Kim, you got a question? Hold on. Kim, I'm about to bring you on camera. What's up? What's your question?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
I'm having trouble with letting go. Trauma bond is real. Obviously, I didn't know anything about it. Didn't know anything about narcissism. I ran into my high school sweetheart, and I've been seeing him. Well, we had a long-term relationship for a while. It's been off and on now for, I don't know, 15 years. I feel pretty stupid that I put up with this drama, but I've tried to get away several times. For some reason, he's a good manipulator, knows exactly what to say. He knows that I'm probably afraid of being alone. I got away from him for over a month and was doing really good and went no contact and did everything I was supposed to do. And he called me, and I guess I felt sorry for him. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I'm sick of it because now every time I try to do something, it's wrong. I can't do anything right.
Yeah.
He calls me a slut, a whore, a bitch. He'll show up at restaurants that I go to and try to humiliate me in public. I got a restraining order, and the restraining order was removed because I didn't say I was scared for my life. I'm not scared for my life. What I'm scared of is that I'm going to have to kill him if he doesn't get away from me.
Well, listen,
I'm getting angry to the point where I'm attacking him, and I don't want that.
well, it seems like you're in quite a difficult predicament, and you know these things are tough. They really, really tough. I mean, especially when we fall for people that we trigger and they trigger us. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's a match made in hell. And right now, it seems like you're going through that. You know what I'm saying?
He's an alcoholic. He won't stop drinking.
Yeah.
And when he's drunk, he attacks me, and I have had to fight for myself.
And I understand that. So let's do this. Let's break this down. Okay. Now you had a restraining order that didn't go well, didn't last. Okay. When the last time you talked to this man?
Last night?
You called him?
No, he called me because I'm not supposed to leave my house or something. I don't know what the deal is. I can't even have a life.
Okay, check this out. So he called you and you answered, correct?
I know.
Now let's not we can't just gloss past that part. Now that we really can't gloss past that part, okay? That's what we can't gloss by. Okay. Now you said when the last time you physically seen him?
Yesterday.
You said he came to your house?
I told him to leave, and that's when he called me because I said, I can't do this anymore. You are mean. You're mean and nasty. He keeps telling me, oh, nobody's going to want you because you got a fucked up kid. Well, my kid's not fucked up. He's autistic.
Kim, let me say this. Now, it sounds like understandably so you got a lot of anger here, and I can understand why. My advice, and this is a twofold thing. Abusive relationship, it sounds like this is an abusive relationship. I mean, it whether or not it's physically, it's definitely mentally abusive. And sometimes what you have to do is think about your safety. Okay. Safety is if someone comes over your house unannounced, you don't argue back and forth with them. You don't get on the phone with them. You call the cops. Okay. That's the only conversation.
They're not going to do anything.
Let me finish, Kim. Let me finish. Kim, let me finish. All right. So that's what I would do. And I would do it every single time. But the conversation back and forth with someone that is clearly not being respectful to you. Because what you end up doing is you end up feeding into that. You know, you end up feeding into it. There's enough combustibleness. I don't even know if that's a word to this situation without you feeding or fanning it. It's already difficult. Even if you didn't respond, even if you were silent, even if you never engaged back, it seems as if he might still behave similar to if you did. Okay. But my point is, I don't think you engaging back with him is going to make it any better. Okay. And if anything, is going to make you, it's like you're drawing yourself in. Have you ever, and this is probably how you feel, you're like, you don't want to engage with him, but you'll listen until he says something that's triggering. So calling you a slut didn't work. So now I'm going to talk about your child because I'm going to do whatever it takes to get a response back to you. And let me tell you how fucked up this is. Some people so fucked up that it don't matter how you guys are communicating, just as long as you're communicating. Right now, even if you're arguing back and forth with that person, it still gives them that satisfaction of we're talking, we're communicating. So I just want you to stop giving that person the satisfaction. Now I understand that maybe cops don't really do what they supposed to do all the time. And I understand that this part can be difficult. However, you know, at this point, I think you have to make some really tough decisions as to how you're going to protect yourself, who can help you protect yourself, and cutting off contact, period. If he calls you, don't answer. If he comes over, don't open the door. If he shows up somewhere, leave. Call the cops as much as you can, and then that you can document that as proof along the way to hopefully be able to get a restraining order. Now, listen, I'm saying this, and let me say this before I move on. I'm saying this being a man, okay? I'm a man, and I ain't really scared of many people. I ain't really had that issue. If anybody showed up at my house, they'd get these hands. These hands will be delivered if somebody come to my house. And if they bigger than me, then, you know, I might have to go get something else. But I understand for women, it's not the same. There's this, you know, it's this imbalance of strength and power that can be scary. So with that being said, I want you to try to employ every method you can use to protect yourself, things that you can put in place that are legal and in orderly so that you don't get in trouble. But most of all, half of that is you saying, I'm not going to engage with this person.
When I called the police, she told me it was my fault. And I didn't even ask him to come over here. How's it my fault?
Kim, are you not are you telling me the whole story, Kim?
Yeah, what the last 4 times that I've called the police, the female cop has told me, you work at a social service agency, you should know better. And I'm like, excuse me? I should know better? I never asked him here. I told him to get lost. I'm calling you to get him out of here. Why should I know better?
Kim, I understand this. Boy, this sounds real frustrating for you. All right. So look, I want you to at least take those steps. And like I said, I'm not obviously on this YouTube. I'm not going to be able to solve all the problems right now.
No. I just want to know, is this my fault? I really want to know, is this my fault? And how do I stop it?
Well, is fault important at this point?
If there's something I'm doing, I need to know what I'm doing because I don't want this. I want a real man who's going to appreciate me.
Well, it is. Fault is not important. Safety is. I will want you to do whatever you can do to make sure you're safe.
So no contact, complete no contact.
Yeah, that let me tell you something, Kim. Let me tell you something. And this is just me, I'm gonna say it in the most loving way as I can. That's probably the most obvious solution that I wish you would have saw early. You know, that's you know, if this was a test, that's the name portion of the test. You know, where you got to write your name. That's how easy that one is. And so what you have to do is maybe go talk to somebody, man, get some help. You know what I mean? Not just with him, but maybe shifting through your emotions because you're going through something traumatic right now. And because sometimes when we in that fight and we're in our feelings and we're angry, and a lot of times, rightfully so, we're not thinking straight. And so not thinking straight makes you leap over the most obvious solution, which is no contact, which is not entertaining.
My counselor said, because my dad's a narcissist, he's a narcissist, and my sister's a narcissist, that's all I really know. And I'm going to have to learn that's not acceptable behavior.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. All right. Well, Kim, you have a better day. I'll get better for you. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Peace. All right, who else we got now? I see some faces. Y'all don't look like I see somebody. Let's see who up next. Is it Yer Bear? Yer Bear, is that your name? Yer Bear? You got a question? You got a question? Or are you doing homework? I don't know. She looked like she's doing homework. She's doing something. All right. What about Diane? You got a question for me? Yes and no. Diane, what's up?
What's up?
What's
My
up? What's your
question
question?
is, I see you doing these videos all the time.
Mhm.
So, are you in a relationship yourself?
Girl, what that got to do with anything? This is a question. What you trying to date me?
Yeah.
Girl, I am off the market. I ain't trying to
No,
be
I'm
getting
just wondering. You have so much advice on relationship status. Most
Mhm.
times it takes someone to be in a relationship and been through the same situations to be able to communicate with everybody else about their relationship problems.
Nah, you know what? Let me say this. I don't necessarily agree with that because for the majority of the time I've been doing this, I wasn't talking to anybody. I wasn't dating anybody. I
Mhm.
think sometimes, being out of the motions gives you a clearer picture of what people probably should do. All
Yeah.
right. Which
Hmm.
you probably should do. And a lot of stuff, I mean, I really be honest with you. A lot of stuff I say is pretty common sense. And I would argue things most people already know. That's why you like it on Instagram. That's why you like it on Facebook and YouTube. Is because I'm saying something you already know to be true. So I don't really think that you have to be in a relationship to know that having self-worth is very important to getting the things you want out of life and not settling.
True.
So, and then also I used to be a nurse. I was a nurse for 10 years. So, I would talk to people all the time, whether, sick people, older people, younger people, and just have dialogue. And so I think that helped me too. So anywho, I mean, I just think anybody can give really, really sound relationship advice. I mean, in my opinion, especially enough to get a like on on Instagram.
So you're a life coach?
Nah, I don't even do that no more. I don't do nothing. I just talk my shit on Instagram. That's what I do. I talk my shit on Instagram. I ain't trying to listen. Listen, let me tell you something. I used to talk to people about their problems all the time. Boy, it is draining. It's
I know.
draining.
I
It
know.
is draining. And then let me tell you why. Boy, we have really good conversations about what I think you should do to actually
Hmm.
help you. And then next week I find you ain't do none of that shit. It's like a it's like a it's just so disheartening. So no, I don't do that anymore. Basically, what I do for a living, I own a couple companies, and so I really do that. And then I do this on the side, if that makes sense.
Well, I look at your videos.
Uh-huh.
I love your videos, by the way.
Hmm.
And a lot of the videos, you did this one video about if you still texting him and Facebooking him and you're still playing into the fact of not letting go.
Yeah.
So right after that video, I had already done it, but I blocked him from my phone. And then he started Facebooking me, so I had to block him, but he kept getting new accounts. So I had to figure out I'm not accepting any more friend requests because it would wind up being him. And then I
Mhm.
wind up getting a bunch of phone calls from different numbers. Sorry about that. Hold on.
Yeah.
I wind up getting these phone calls from a bunch of different numbers. So I figured, okay, I'm gonna have to be like this number, that number, this number, that number, this number, because I already know who it is. Because if they're not in my contacts, I already know. If it ain't an 800 number, I already know. If it's a number I ain't already dealt with, I already know who it is.
So how long ago was that?
It's been about a month or so. I've
How
started
you
blocking
you
and
still
not,
going strong?
huh?
You still going strong? Y'all still not talking?
Oh heck no.
Okay. You
No,
moving
that's
on?
been that's been over. We've been not talking for about, but well, we've been separated for for months now. But the not talking part, I understood what you were saying because at first, he was. I don't have a phone. I need food, and I would try to help him because that's
See,
the
no, see,
person I
Diane,
was.
Diane, let me say this because it don't sound like you got a question, but I'm gonna say this. Diane, I think you made a good move, and I hope that this works out for you, and you stick by your decision, because oftentimes we choose the right direction. We just have a problem following through. So it sounds like you're doing a real good job of that. So you keep going and be strong. All right.
All right, definitely.
All right, lady.
Well, I enjoyed. Plus, I love you so much. I've been waiting to meet you and talk to you in person.
Appreciate you. All right, let's see who else. Is it Yara Bear? Are you ready now? I was trying to talk to you earlier, and then I'm gonna get Chelsea. Chelsea, I gotta get a couple people in before I get to you, because Chelsea. Matter of fact, why don't you put your question in the chat, Chelsea? What's up? How are you? Yara Bear, I'm right there. What's up? Can you hear me?
Good. I'm sorry. I'm with my son. But my question is, so I have a 2-year-old.
Mhm.
I was with his dad for a while, and for a while I felt like I was begging him to be a father. And once I left, I guess he finally kind of started doing all this stuff I was
Mhm.
asking him to do. So I'm just thinking, am I wrong for not going back now that he's getting his stuff together, or should I just
Going back to what?
going back to like living together, being in. Sorry, I got stickers all over me because my son.
Now going back to living together
Yeah.
because he's doing
Our
what?
son, you know what I mean? Because we live in different states. I
I
stay in Michigan now. He
I
lives in
don't know.
Maryland.
Listen, how old are you again?
I'm 21.
Okay. So let me say this. No, I do not know what you mean, because being a 32-year-old individual, I understand that just because someone is, I don't know, taking care of their responsibilities and taking care of their child doesn't mean that they deserve a second chance at a relationship. Okay, it ain't like he said he did something above and beyond. He's actually just showing concern for his child. That's something you should do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I totally agree with that.
Okay.
That's why, like, I haven't gone back, but I was just wondering, like,
Yeah. You don't get no brownie points for taking care of the child you created. I mean,
100% agree. So
and,
I'm not wrong. Thank you. Okay.
and but also, I want you to also consider this. Sometimes people do that as a way to get back in your good graces and to get back into a relationship. And a lot of times with some people that are not really taking care or really care too much about their responsibility, I'm not putting words in people's mouth, but a lot of times the relationship you have with that person will dictate how involved they are with the child. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes you may think that, okay, I really want him in my child's life, so now I have to play house and go back so he can be more involved with it. That's not the best way to get what you want. I suggest you find somebody that, why'd y'all break up?
I think he just got way too comfortable with the fact that I was always gonna pick up his slack. You know what I mean? He got disrespectful, started, I was in bed with his child all night while he was out doing whatever, and I was waiting on him. So I just thought it would be better if I
The
left.
breakup. You left and you moved to a different state.
Well, I grew up in Michigan and moved where he lives in Maryland, and then me and my son moved back to Michigan.
Oh, okay. Well, I will say this. I mean, being a young mom is going to be some challenges. The one challenge I do not want you to deal with is going back and forth with your baby daddy. I just like, and here's the thing. You listen, even if I didn't tell you this, you was going to learn. And,
No,
and
I went back plenty of times, and
I know that's what I'm
like,
saying.
now that he's finally getting everything to, like, my son's been with him for a couple months now, like visiting over there while I've been working. So I thought, like, I don't know.
But
Now that I could trust him with our child, like, it was the first time that my son's been away from me for that long.
and so you like, okay, now that he, I don't know, decided to be a dad for a little bit, now it's time for me to consider going back to him.
I know that.
Let me tell you this.
I'm not gonna go back. I just want to know if I'm wrong for that. Like, now that he's, you know what I mean? Everything that I was begging him for, he's finally doing. And
like, what you mean everything that you were begging him to do?
like like helping me with his child. Even while I was living there, like I was, you know what I mean, doing everything. And I feel like I don't know.
How old is this guy?
He's 25.
25. So he's still a kid a little bit. And let me tell you this.
No, you're supposed to be grown at 25 or somewhat grown.
Well, he's not grown if he's not taking care of his kid.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, I'll say this, and this is just, and I'm gonna mute you for a second, and I want you to just listen to this part. Listen, and this is for all the ladies out here. I'm not a mother. I can't sit here and tell you what you should do. I know you're thinking about the welfare of your child, but I'm telling you, sometimes you can be with a man that sets the bar for himself so low that when he does ordinary shit, you up here thinking, oh my God, we should be back together. Like I mean, the bar is so low that when a man takes care of his child, it's like, oh my God. Dude, the funny part about it is he doesn't give you the same credit for being a mom that you're trying to give him for being a dad. You know what I'm saying? If anything, he disrespected the effort you was putting in to have his child, to raise his child. While you were raising his child, he was running the streets. So the point is, I just don't want you to lowball your standards. So, and right now, hold on, let me ask you a question. You got one kid, right? Just one?
I'm traumatized. I'm one and done. I'm sorry.
All right, you got the one. Now listen, and I want you to look me in the face. Don't let that one turn into two. Fucking around with this situation. Y'all already proved that y'all not really using the things needed to make sure these kids don't happen. You start liking him again, you go back, y'all get the same. You know how many women went back and had the second one?
This might be controversial, but I'm traumatized enough to the point where you're going to catch me at the clinic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, well,
I'm one and done right now.
Okay, good. Because I just really think about that. See, life is going, and you know it. Life is going to be. You
Yeah,
gotta.
and I always tell myself, like, I'm young. I got time. So once I find someone that, like, I know is actually gonna be able to meet all my standards, then I might want more kids. But right now, I'm comfortable with my.
Yeah, and wait. You got.
I'm waiting. I'm sorry.
Wait. Just the relationship. Wait. Just wait.
I know I'm taking my time. Like right now, when I was living with him, I was a stay-at-home mom. And as soon as I left, like I got my own place, got my own car, I manage a liquor store now. Like, and my son's being taken care of very well. So.
All right. Well, you do your thing, man. I hope it work out for you. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, ladies. I wish it was more men on here because I can talk to the men as well. Boy, we be making these grown ass decisions when we 19 and 20, right? I mean, grown ass decisions too. Like if we could go back and relive 19, 20, 21, and 22, 23, damn, maybe even 24, we wouldn't do shit the same for real. Like we literally just redo shit because it's like at that point, yeah, your body is mature. You know what I mean? Mature enough, obviously, to create a child. Then we have this youthful, what's the word? I want to say youthful we think we're indestructible, that things can't happen to us, and we find out that they can. And I'll tell you one thing, the one thing that really slows us down in life a lot of times is having those children early for men and women, because you're not even putting yourself in the best situation, especially men. You're not putting yourself in a situation to be a great father. Now at 25, I mean, it's kind of trifling. I will say if 25, you got a kid, you ain't taking care of your kid, kind of trifling. But you're just not mentally there to be able to have that sense of responsibility. And then also, ladies, the same thing. You're making a grown-up decision when you decide to have sex unprotected. You're making a grown-up decision that comes with grown-up consequences. and you're not necessarily ready to handle that. You think just because this man that you like at 21, what nigga, everybody that's watching, what guy did you choose at 21 was actually a good person? Like you like, I can marry him right now when I was 21 and it would have worked out. Zero. It may be one or two of y'all. You do not make smart decisions at 21. We just don't do it. At 20, at 19, we don't do it. And so I want you guys to take a break from dating that early. It's not worth it. Go to school, go to college. Fuck, if you don't want to do that, get a job, stack your chips, focus on your career, focus on doing all these different things. Because I'm telling you, and especially for men, I don't know the statistics on women, but I know for men, having a child early for a man decreases his earning potential so much, especially if you want to be involved with the child. Same for a woman. You're having this child so early, and you know, now instead of thinking about you, you're thinking about him or her. That child comes first. His needs does. And a lot of times, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to be a single mom or a mom that's single. One of the two. It's statistically way more likely if you have a child at 20, 21 that you are going to be raising that child the majority of the time without assistance and help. Statistically, it's just statistically proven. So I just want us to start making these better decisions. Now, again, I'm not telling you anything that I don't personally live. Like, I'm 32 and I have no kids that I know of. That I just do it a lot. Fuck it. No, I'm just playing. I ain't got no kids. Let me tell you how I know I ain't got no kids. Because I'm such the shit right now. If somebody would have a kid for me, they would have let me know by now. By now, they would have been like, oh shit, that Ace metaphor. Oh, I would have been in somebody's child support court. Boy, at 32, oh, hell no, I ain't having no kid. Not out of wedlock. Listen, I know y'all love y'all kids because y'all got them. But right now, the thought of me having a child with someone I'm not married to, I could just see the gobs of money leaving my bank account. Oh my God. I could, like, my heart wouldn't be able to take it. Boy, I think of a couple ways, like the couple things that would like absolutely, I'm being dramatic, but ruin my life. I'm being dramatic. But getting sued, that was for some stupid shit. Me getting in an accident and me having a child right now. Because then I would have to sort of make the relationship work. I don't want to have to do that. What if I don't like her like that? I ain't tried to do. I like kids. They're expensive. Shit, somebody told me daycare for them is like $700 a month, $700 a week. $700 a week. Hey, somebody said daycare is $700 a week. Even if it's for $400 a week. Just to watch this kid a couple hours after school? Hell nah, man. Man. Hey, listen. All right, answer this question and don't lie. Don't lie. If we had a kid together, you taking me to child support? Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie. If we had a kid together, are you putting me on child support? Don't lie. Don't lie. I'm looking at you. I want to see the kid. I want to see y'all answers. Y'all gonna put me on child support? Or nah, y'all just gonna let me just help out? Cause I help out. I mean, you know, if you need some, just hit me up. I got you. You know, I got Cash App ready. Somebody said yes. Somebody said nope. Let's see. Nah, I give you a chance to do it right. See, Valerie, that's what I'm talking about. He's saying. Somebody said no. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody said no. Somebody said yeah. Yeah, because you too busy. Somebody said I'm poor, so yes. All right. Last question, and I'm gonna get out of here. Chelsea, did you put your question in the chat? Let me go find the chat. Where the chat at? I got the private chat. Chelsea, where your question? Oh, you said I don't get a warning. Chelsea, you need to put your question in the chat. Put your question in the chat, Chelsea. All right, Sanji, what's up? You got a question? If I don't know if I pronounced it right, unmute yourself. You got to unmute yourself. I think you're muted.
Hi, Ace.
Oh, I got you. What's up?
Not much. I said you're the first person that really pronounced my name correctly. That's really a plus. Thank you. All right, Ace, you're my ace. I share your video all the time. I wonder if it's just you're just a godsend in terms of educating persons out there. I know you're not biased. You weigh the balance, and I came on your program once when I spoke about my narcissistic ex. That he abandoned me in the height of when I just did a surgery, right?
Yeah.
And he had just got his trailer license, and he ended up dumping me for a Puerto Rican. So the bottom line is we are on the verge of this divorce, and he refused to give me any spousal support. Now everybody's telling me that I must go ahead and sue this woman because she was my friend and she knew that we were seriously married. We were married, and I had no idea that we had issues, none whatsoever. So this man practically said, "New life, new wife."
Yeah.
We're living together now, and he's telling everybody that he's not with this girl. He does not love this girl, and they are just friends. He's lying his way to his teeth. What advice can you give me in terms of listening? I'm not really. There's a difference between listening and hearing. And what can you say to me concerning going ahead and suing this girl for disrupting my marriage? I really don't want to, because I think that's excess baggage.
So you live in the States, right?
Yeah.
Do you live in a state where you allowed to do that?
I've never really go ahead and check it out, you know.
Because I know there is a few states where you're allowed to do that, and I feel like that's gangster. That's some gangster shit. If you decided to do that, that's real gangster. Okay, that's some real gangster stuff. Now, I'll say this. This is my first initial reaction is you have to. Things like that drag on, and I always think about litigation that way. Is the potential payout worth the dragging on process? Worth you not being able to let go of something sooner? And I think only you can answer that. Only you can answer, is the potential reward of this worth this being on my mind for another year or two? And if that answer to you is yes, then that's something you can possibly think about pursuing. But you have to balance, okay, mental health, you got to stress, anxiety, distraction, your healing. And if you are a person that's able to do those things congruently with going through a legal process, like not only just divorcing him, but suing the person that he's talking to now, that's a mental load, because you're gonna stay investigating. You're gonna stay investigating. You're gonna stay figuring out who he talking to, how he talking to, and it's just a lot. And so, again, I think that's what you have to ask yourself. Now, if you're in a position,
Everything though, Ace, everything.
You said what?
I have to think of everything.
And I understand that. I understand that process. And so, I guess what I'm saying to you is, if it's worth it to you, you know, and you're allowed to do it, I mean, who am I to tell you not to? I'm just giving you that other part to consider. You know, today, right now, you can decide that you're done with it. You're done with all of it, and you can do this with your hands and move on with your life. Or you can continue down this path, and it might be a rainbow at the end. or pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You might be right. You might be able to win something. I don't know where you live at, but is the journey that's going to take you on worth the potential reward, or is the reward of your peace sooner? Is that outweighing whatever potential reward you would get from litigating somebody? And I think that's what everybody thinks about. This is outside of just relationships. This is anytime you're thinking about litigation, that's what you got to think of, because it is not easy. It's a process and it stays on your mind a lot. So if it were me, now again, I talk from my financial situation. I would let it go. But if you're in a position where financially you feel like you dependent on this man and you know,
No.
You said what?
Not dependent at all.
You didn't. So while you were together, did he pay for the majority of things?
Ace, he paid for, like, he volunteered to pay for the mortgage. He volunteered to pay the light. He volunteered to pay the car insurance. So I did the water and everything else. So it's like half and half, you know.
Yeah. So, girl, listen, if it were me, I would. If it were me, you know what I'm saying? So I just want you, especially if you wasn't completely financially dependent on him, just, I know it sucks. I know, but see, here's what I want to ask you before I let you go. And I want you to think about this. Are you planning on doing it because you need to do it? Are you planning on doing it as a way to get back or to prove you're right or whatever? And I think you have to ask yourself that, because if it's not coming from a space of actual need, then is it coming from a space of getting even or vengeance? And you might, like I said, you might be completely justified in doing that. I'm not saying you not. I'm just saying, is it worth your ability to heal sooner and move away from this thought process and this drama sooner than later? You know what I'm saying? So I want you to think about that, okay?
Yes.
All right, girl. It's good to talk to you.
And you as well, Ace. Keep up the good work. I love you.
All right, peace out.
Bye.
Bye. So this, but I've been on here an hour. Chelsea left. Did you put your comment with your question? Chelsea, did you? Chelsea, you put your question in there? Chelsea, I'm trying to find a question. I ain't see a question yet, Chelsea. I just can't just pick you, Chelsea. You gotta put your question. Hey, y'all, Chelsea got different rules, man. I'd have been around, we'd have been around the block a couple times. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all think I'm being mean to Chelsea, but all right, watch this. Chelsea, what's up? Chelsea, where you? I can't even see you. What's up?
What's up? So, okay, so I've never been in a relationship in my entire life, right? Right. So we talked about this. Okay, cool. But I feel like people should be friends with people that they're interested in for at least 3 years before they decide if they want to be in a relationship, because I feel like that would allow you to see like what type of person that person is for real, without the extra of the extra feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was telling one of my guy friends about that, and he was like, until you get in a relationship, you can't really just tell me about feelings. And I was like, well, damn. I mean, it makes sense to just be friends with a person before, you actually get in a relationship with them, because his ass got dumped the other day. So I was right in the end about the situation. So my question is, Mr. I haven't dated in 10 years until recently. How do you feel about the whole let's be friends first before we start dating?
It depends what dating means. I think it depends what dating means. I think people date often. I don't think dating is a relationship status.
Okay, so we'll use the dating in terms of how your supporters recall them dating the person that they're with.
Okay, so again, okay, let me just clarify then. So I don't feel like, I feel like people can date and not be in a relationship. They can be dating without being exclusively dating. Now, if you're saying, okay, how long should someone be dating before they decide to be exclusive to each other? I absolutely, and I got to mute you. It's an echo. Hold on. I absolutely think that we're getting we're getting to the point of exclusively dating far too soon. You meet somebody, and for 2 months you've dated, you've talked on the phone, you went out, and after 2 or 3 months, you're ready to exclusively date this person. I think you are closing your options down way too quickly. And it has nothing to do with you don't really know this person well, because you know, and I know after 2 or 3 months, you don't know this person well. And then we get this false sense of like connection that's inspired a lot of times by lust or infatuation, or finally meeting somebody that meets up to the standards we have that we haven't been able to meet in the last year or two. So we're ready to jump the gun. So for what you're saying, Chelsea, I understand the idea of being friends first. I mean, obviously, friendship is the most important thing. I've said it in many of my videos that I feel like a friendship is the uniform that you have to have. I feel like girlfriend and boyfriends is a badge you put on a uniform. I feel like wife and husband is a badge you put on a uniform. But you have to be a friend first. You have to have that core. That core. We just really good friends. Now, I do not. When you say be a friend for 3 years, I do think with practicality though, there is. It's hard to call somebody you fucking a friend. Yeah. It's hard. Y'all fucking, it's hard to just call them a friend. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't a friend if you fucking. Like, I mean, we can say we friends, but that's a different level of friendliness. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. It's a little different level of friendliness. So I think anytime you start adding sex into the equation, regular communication, regular dating, it's going to heighten, how you feel about that person. It's going to be tough just to keep it in that friend level. I think if you want to keep a relationship at the friend level, you have to act like friends. You literally have to not be talking every single day, just catching up every now and again. Linking up, like not linking up, like just meeting at a place every now and again. Can't be no vacations, can't be no back blown outness. It can't be none of that, because you do all those things, your feelings is going to be involved. Ladies, it's kind of hard staying friends with a nigga that's touching the back meat. He touching the back meat, Chelsea. It's back meat. No, you muted. You were not unmuted. All right, matter of fact, thank you for the question, Chelsea. I'm about to finish this live. Okay, bye, Chelsea. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Motherfucker just touching the back beat, and he ain't doing it like disrespectfully either. It's just like, when nigga just put it in all the way and look at you. He don't do shit. He hold it there, pelvis to pelvis, pelvis to pelvis, looking at your ass like this, pelvis to pelvis, just looking at you. He know what the fuck he doing. Then he wants you to not act different. Why you being weird to me? You know what I'm saying? Leg up, one hand on neck, one hand on frontal, talk about mine. You know what the fuck he doing. It's kind of hard staying friends with nigga to doing that to you. And guess my point is, if you want to remain friends with someone, you have to temper your behaviors, because we're just human beings. Relationships either grow or they wither away. They don't stay the same. You either getting closer or you growing farther apart. It's just we just gonna stay at this level for years and years and not grow. Like, it's just no way. Especially if you're doing all those things. So I just really wish you guys the best when it comes to that, because here's what really messes us up. What really messes us up is the lack of quality we find. You know, you've been dating these dusty ass niggas for the last 2 or 3 years. You know, the nigga dusty too. Yeah, a dusty ass nigga. And you know, dudes the same way. Some of y'all been dating these these hoodies. I call them hoodies. These projects. You know what I'm saying? You know, they from no offense to the project. You know what I'm talking about the mentality though. Boy, they look rough around the edges. Yeah, I'm saying. They a little rough around the edges, boy. You been dealing with that. You finally meet a woman where you ain't got to argue with and shit. You know what I'm saying? She actually peaceful. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. She actually show you a little bit of respect. You ready to marry this woman. And ladies, I know y'all keep thinking that, nah, all it is the men causing them. It's only bad men out here. All the women are good, the only bad men. The only reason you say that is because you do not date women. Go ask some lesbians. Go ask some lesbians. Ask some lesbians. Okay, I want you to go ask them if all the women they've dated been perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like ladies, hold on, before I get off here, ladies, we gotta talk about this. Do you really think because it always seems there's always just bad dudes out here. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you, as a man that has dated or entertained, you know, a fair number of women in my life. I don't want to make it seem like I'm a hoe, but it's a lot of women out here ain't ready for a relationship. You know, and I really feel like just where we at in 2021, it's a lot harder now because some of the, you know, I'm gonna call them out. Alex, I'm gonna call them out. Lisa, I'm gonna call them out. Listen, I'm gonna just tell you what the dudes are telling me. Y'all telling me if I'm wrong or right. You know, first of all, you got the pocket of women that's talking about, I need a man that can handle me. I need a man that can handle me. Ladies, ain't no handle. What you mean? Listen, anytime a woman say that, I'm like, what the fuck you expecting me to be handling? You know, and normally I find that is, you know, you're a little rough around the edges. There's a little attitude there. You need a man that can handle you. I had a woman, you know, I need a man that can, you know, handle. I ain't trying to do that. Then you had the ladies that, you know, I'll be honest, we're gonna talk about it. You know, not a lot of cooking going on nowadays. And I get it. 21st century, we got DoorDash, but not a lot of cooking going on. I've been hearing this from my fellas. We all in agreement. Not a lot of cooking. Now I understand it's 21st century. You like, man, my spot ain't in the kitchen. I get that. Your spot is wherever you want it. But I'm just saying, niggas, we having a problem because there ain't a lot of cooking going on. I think the biggest, I would say the biggest, in all seriousness, the biggest problems I've ever had from women that made me decide not to talk to them, in all seriousness though, has been children. And I don't want to call it a problem because to you, that's your children. And I know you love your children. But for real, when I was dating, there was a lack of women without children. And it's not that you have a child necessarily that was a problem to me. I mean, even though that's in the back of your mind, if things progress, I have to be that child's, you know, step parent. Even if you are a mother that's like, hey, he good, his dad is in his life, you don't have to be his dad, you know, you just support me, you know, we gonna live in the same house, I just want you to love me. Even if you're a woman like that, I think the biggest issues I faced was availability. Like, for a person that doesn't have a child, it's hard to date when someone does. Think about it. If someone is single, they're more sporadic. It's, hey, what you doing today, or what you doing tomorrow, or this, that, and other. And a lot of times when I was dating, this is when I was younger, of course, and the women were younger. So maybe if I dated single mothers now in their 30s and I'm 30s, it would be completely different. But it was always like, oh no, I got my kid and this, that, and other. So that became a barrier. And I would say this, the majority of the men that I hung around didn't have children, but the majority of women that I knew had children. And I don't know if that's a statistic. I don't know if it like ratios out, but I would say nowadays in 2021, you have a lot of people having these kids out of wedlock. I just really think that's the biggest. I wish, like, listen, I do know that dudes being broke is a problem. I do know that dudes not being faithful can be a problem. I do know that some women not really being down with the whole he's the head of the household thing. Independent can be repelling to certain men and vice versa. And I think all those things are real issues. But I think when it gets to the core of it, I feel like a lot of men marry because of family, wanting to settle down and have a child. I feel like a lot of women marry because of family. But I feel like the dynamic of us having so many children out of wedlock, I would imagine that most children in America are born out of wedlock. Damn, I'd probably venture to say 70 or 80 or 90%. And I think when you get to that level of statistic, it makes it hard to find someone. It makes it harder. It makes it harder to find someone because there's so many different factors now that's in play. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the reason is like guys ain't trying to wife people up. I don't know. But then it's like, I believe that's true. I do feel like that there's a shortage of men that actively want to get married and pursue it. But I also feel like there's a lack of women wanting the same thing. And the reason why I say that is, if you know, children are probably the biggest reason why people get married. We say it's for love, but you can love without being married. It is the security of saying, okay, I marry you, you marry me, we're going to create a family together. The reason why I want to commit my life to you and you commit your life to me is because we're going to have a family and raise that family together. Yeah, I love you, you love me. But I think subconsciously it's to procreate. And we're doing that without marriage. We're doing that without marriage. We're doing it without marriage. You know, and so it makes less of a reason for people to see the need to get married, because I can have children with a woman without being married. She can have children without being married neither. And so now it's like, okay, people question, well, what's the big, why get married now? And I will say this before I get off of here, and I'm not listening. I ain't read y'all comments. I know y'all probably chewing me up in the comments because I know there's a lot of single moms out here that's about to get mad at me. But I think it's true, though. Think about it like this. And I want you to really ponder this next thought. I feel like women and men digest relationships differently. I feel like for women, it's more about, it is some usefulness there. Like, is this man useful for me? But it's also, when you think about marriage, it's love. That's the main motivating factor. I love this man. You know, relationships is more often than not for women, it's an emotional tie. Whereas for men, a lot of times it is more strategic connection. Like, you know, how does this person fit into my life? Can this person be a great teammate? I want children, so I want to have children with this woman. I want to be able to raise. Can I trust this woman to be around long enough and stay in this relationship long enough for us to raise children to adult age. I think a lot of men think that way. And even if they don't, even if it's not like a conscious thought, I think it's subconscious. I think there's fewer men getting married for the reason of just romantic love than there is men getting married because of family. And so I feel like because we are all having family without the marriage, that's why there's less marriage. So we up here, I'm telling you, we sit and we blame everything else. Dudes this way, dudes are doing this, dudes are doing that. Yeah, I know, I get it. Women doing this, women doing that, women, and I get that too. And there's things that we have to fix, but I think when it comes to the marriage talk, I wish we would talk more about how men and women having children out of wedlock is a big reason why we feel less pressured to have marriage. If having a man's child required being married first, more men would get married and more women would get married. Like I see a lot of women, they have a child young, and that child becomes, especially if it's a son, that son becomes their man now. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I was raised by a single mom, and I felt like I was the man of the house and shit. We was taking pictures in Walmarts together like I was her man. Now I get it, I'm her kid, she loved me and shit, but I'm like, I really wish my mom would have just had a relationship though. Like, it took her until we were out the house to find a husband, and I feel like that happens often. And for men, the same thing. Like, nobody want to marry your raggedy ass. You got 3 different kids by 4 different baby mamas. I don't even know how that's possible. So, and also, ladies, I'm gonna say this, ladies. I'm gonna say this before I get off of here. It take 2 people to make a baby. Okay, now I know y'all up here blaming all these men for this problem, but it take 2 people. And so, part of it is we're having probably more sex than ever now, with more people than ever now. You would hear stories, yeah, we're just having way more sex. We get bored quicker. It's a lot of factors, man. But I feel like if I had a child, if I had a son, that's what I would tell him. I would tell him you'd be more successful if you didn't have a child. My bad, y'all. My dog I gotta get off of here, y'all. My hour is up. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Peace.